Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Kingdoms and Castles. There will be a time link in the description for a tutorial in each small part of the game. Firstly, you got three types of land. Yellow land, which is barren land, you cannot grow crops on it. Green land, which is fertile land, you produce a moderate amount of food on it. And dark green land, which is very fertile land, and you can produce more food than on the green land. Then you have got land features. Trees. These give you wood. You can either chop them down or you can build a forester to provide a constant supply of wood. Three different types of rock. Dark grey rock, also known as unusable rock, is completely useless. Grey rock is the usable rock. Here you can place down a quarry to receive a constant supply of stone. Finally, dark orange rock. This rock is iron and is used later in the game to produce tools for your productive citizens and armaments for your army. Caves. These are useless to you, but not for the wolves. Wolf dens that appear on your map have an area of danger. This area, citizens are at risk of being killed, except from foresters, and the wolves can be killed by your army. In witches' huts, you have a choice if you want to knock on it or leave it. I recommend leaving it, as you will keep sending the witches supplies to keep her happy, and the benefits that you may get are not beneficial. Now, for choosing a starting location. I recommend building your village somewhere close to wood, stone and fertile land. However, make sure that you don't build on very fertile land, as it would be a waste of the resource. I usually build on a barren land, as it hasn't got any other uses. Place down your keep in your desired location. Once the keep has finished building, you will notice that your people are wanting a home. But before you do that, make sure to know what you're doing with building. First, you must connect everything you build with roads. These will all originate from your keep. They then have an highlighted area around them which you can build on. Housing. You have three different types of housing: hovel, cottage and manor. Hovel is the cheapest and the lowest population density, and manor has the highest cost and density. We then need to know what's going on in the tab in the bottom left of the screen. Firstly, it shows your population here, your idle villages and the beds you have for your villages, your happiness, which I'll explain in a minute, your tax rate, which I'll explain in a minute, your resources listed as follows: wood, stone, coal, food, iron, tools, armaments and money. If you click on each resource, it will show you your income resource and output of the resource, which is important to keep an eye on. Most importantly is your job priority. You can reorder your jobs like so, or you can completely turn off the job. I recommend putting farmers at the top, so you will always have a food supply in your village. Next, we need to know how to keep a constant supply of raw resources. The most important resource is food. You can build a farm and an orchard for a food supply. But be careful, farms flood when it rains, and to increase food storage, build a granary next to your farms. Farms can increase food output by putting a windmill near it. Wood and stone is also important, as it is the building materials of your village. Wood can be collected with a forester, and stone can be collected with a quarry next to a grey rock. You may notice that there is a coal resource. These warm up villages as homes, which will increase happiness. You can get a constant supply of the resource by building charcoal makers. These require wood. Iron, which isn't important early game, can be mined with an iron mine next to an iron rock. Money is important as it unlocks buildings under the category Advanced Town. In order to start collecting money, you need to build a treasury room. Soon as you've done this, you'll gain access to the tax rate. You can set the tax rate whatever you like, but the higher the taxes, the more unhappy your citizens become. Some buildings cost money, such as an arch tower, so you need to start making gold straight away. Some jobs have wages, like librarians. Keep an eye on your income and outcome of money. Happiness is important to maintain. You can find out your happiness in your village by looking at the bottom left tab, where it will give you a percentage happiness, and a map to locate where people are unhappy. Buildings can improve happiness. These include taverns, gardens, water fountains, bathhouses and monuments. You can also get short happiness boosts when you defeat dragons and Vikings attacks, but if you don't defend against these attacks, happiness will go down. Basic things like enough food to go around or enough charcoal to warm the houses will keep happiness up, but if not, happiness will go down. Charcoal makers close to your housing will also decrease happiness, as the smoke produced is not liked by the citizens. Now for those pesky Vikings and dragons, you'll need a defence. Walls are very good at stopping Vikings entering your city. Stone walls are stronger than wooden walls, and stone walls can be stacked higher. Gates can be placed on roads to let your villagers in and out, but it will block the Vikings entering your village. Towers can be placed on your walls to attack the incoming attackers. Ballista towers deal more damage than arch towers, but take longer to reload. I would also recommend only manning these towers when you are being attacked, as these jobs cost money. Moats can be used to slow down attackers, and finally, you can build an army to attack these Vikings head on. You can do this by building a chamber of war to train a hero, and then a barracks to train soldiers. Soldiers require armaments that are made from the blacksmith. You can then personally move each hero and their army to attack the enemy. Finally, water transport around your city can be really useful. To start transporting water across your village, you'll need to build an anora and use aqueducts to transport the water, placing reservoirs to get the beneficial of the water irrigation. It can improve farming. This includes making barren land farmable. It can also be used in buildings that require water. These include water fountains and bathhouses, which will increase happiness. Now for important specific buildings. Wells and fire brigade buildings can be used to stop the fires that pop up in your village. However, if your village is near a water source already, like a reservoir or sea/river, the villages can be used to put out the fire. Town squares can be used to host festivals, which will attract more people to your village. Cemeteries can be used to bury the dead, which will stop a decrease in happiness. Churches can be used to increase happiness and keep villagers from disappearing. The cathedral is just a bigger church with a greater area of happiness. A library can be used to increase in knowledge and also unlocks the Great Library building. Here you can research improvements with gold. Clinics can stop the plague from killing your citizens, and hospitals are just a larger clinic that can help more people. Statues can increase happiness, but the Lord Levy statue will grow trees around it, whereas the other two statues have no effect. Bakers produce 4 bread from 1 food and 1 charcoal, which is helpful to reach larger populations. Markets move charcoal and food closer to your city and can decrease the time your villagers have to travel to get to these resources. Stockpiles can stockpile your resources. I recommend putting them next to your quarries, foresters and mines to decrease the distance they have to go to store the resource. Blacksmiths use iron to make tools and armaments. Tools increase production and armaments are used to produce soldiers. Masons use rock to repair structures like walls after an attack. Rock removal is simply to remove rock. Docks can be used to trade with merchants or to trade with islands located in your world that are not connected by bridges. In order to trade with the other islands on your world, you must build a transport ship. Piers can be used on shallow water to extend your island. Bridges can be used over shallow water to connect pieces of land together. Drawbridges can be used to allow ships to pass through. Outposts can be used to claim other islands on your world. Stone roads and stone bridges make villages travel faster than normal roads and bridges. If you've got any other questions, please put them in the comments below. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed this video to give it a thumbs up and even a subscription. If you enjoyed this video, please give me some feedback on it. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.